When we reached home, Mom kept asking why we were so late, but all I could think about was the boxing match. That night, I watched tons of videos about women's boxing, and in a few days, I was practicing around the house. And it really drove Mom mad. She hated the idea of women being boxers and forbade me to even think about it. No daughter of mine is going to be a boxer. Got it? Fine. She could stop me from pursuing boxing as a profession, but she couldn't stop me from practicing at home. But one time, when I broke a vase that had my great-grandma's ashes, Mom gave up. Oh my God, just take her to some boxing academy. Please don't practice at home. Ever again. Yippee! Dad and I were ecstatic. Dad got me into a boxing academy, but since I was the only girl in that place, boys weren't keen on letting me practice in peace. As if it would scare me off. One time as I entered the gym room, I saw some boys practicing boxing on the punching bag. When I asked for a turn, they just laughed at me. Oh, little girl, your fragile fingers will hurt. Leave this to the boys. Why? Are you scared I'm gonna do better than you? I guess if I were you, I'd be scared too, little boy. The boy looked pissed, but moved aside to let me practice on the punching bag. It was my chance to show them what I had. I totally destroyed the punching bag. After that day, no one ever called me a little girl. I had been in the academy for just over 6 months when my dad got an amazing job in the city. Now my academy was just a 2-minute walk away from my new home. We were all so happy about living in the big city. We had heard so much about it, and I was excited to live in it. Tito was excited for a different reason. I love the city. Did you notice how rich the guys are here? I am sure I'll find a rich guy, make him fall in love with me, marry him, and live my best life. God, Tito, can you think of anything other than boys and getting married? Why not focus on studies? With the grades you are getting, how will you finish high school? I don't need to finish high school when I have a rich husband. Duh. We had only been in the city for 6 months when I got some surprising news. Tito was getting married. Tito's boyfriend, Econ, was the son of one of the richest men in town. He and Tito looked totally in love. Well, Tito a little more than him. I wasn't a fan of Econ, because he was going to take my sister away from me, but seeing Tito over the moon made me happy. Soon my house was swarmed with wedding activities. Just a day before Tito's wedding, I was so fed up and went to a local restaurant to get some air. When I walked in, I saw Tito's boyfriend and I decided to say hello. As I got closer, a girl passed me by and hugged Econ. And then, they both kissed! What the heck? This dude was cheating on my sister! I so wanted to punch him, but the moment he saw me, he smirked. The audacity! Gonna tell your sister I'm cheating on her? Yes, and she is so gonna dump your sorry butt, you cheater. Oh, please. Your sister is so in love with me, she won't believe you. Get used to it. We are going to be in-laws. At least temporarily. I just need to marry a girl of my dad's choice to access my trust fund, and then I'll be free. You know, I can pay you for keeping your mouth shut for a while. I saw red hearing his words and gave him a much-deserved punch before leaving.
What's up, and welcome back to a new video.
Hi, my name is Demelza. My first memory of Mom is of her voice. She'd sing lullabies to me every night, and it was the most beautiful sound in the world. The minute she stopped, I'd start screaming for more. By the time I was 1, I could hum every lullaby perfectly. Dad would play the grand piano, and I'd jump onto his lap and press the keys, delighted by the sounds I made. On Dad's 30th birthday, there was a grand celebration at our mansion. In the middle of it, I climbed onto the table and started singing the birthday song. Suddenly, a hush fell over the room. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Daddy. Happy birthday to you. When I was finished, I looked around in surprise to see grown men crying. Oh my God, she has the voice of an angel. I always had a feeling Demelza was gifted. I'm so proud of you, darling. My parents hired the best musicians and vocal coaches for me, and there was no stopping me after that. At every party, I'd put on a show for our guests, and I'd make them pay me too. My life was perfect until one day when everything changed. When I was in the 3rd grade, Dad had just returned from a business trip. and I stopped short when I saw a scrawny little girl get out of the car too. She was trying to hide behind Dad, but he gently pushed her forward.
Demelza, this is Isabel. She's your sister, and she's going to live with us now. Will you take care of her?
I looked into her scared, dark eyes and immediately took her hand. Always. But the day Isabel walked in, a dark shadow was cast over our happy home. That evening, we overheard a huge fight between my parents.
You've broken my heart, and now you've brought a reminder of that to live with us? She can't stay here. I won't raise a child that isn't mine. She has nowhere to go. Her mother's gone. I know you hate me right now, but please, don't take it out on her. She's just a kid.
I didn't want Isabel to hear this, so I said, "Come on, I'll play something for you. What's your favorite song?" I didn't fully understand what was happening, but one thing was clear. Mom hated Isabel. She pretended like Isabel didn't even exist. But Dad and I adored her, and we more than made up for Mom's ice-cold attitude. But in the 8th grade, we got some news one day that turned our worlds around. Dad had been in a terrible car accident, and he was gone. We were all devastated. But Mom just shut herself up in her room for weeks. Bianca became super popular thanks to her stunning looks. All the boys wanted to date her, and all the girls wanted fashion tips from her. And Bianca never failed to rub her popularity in my face. Rigel, 97 guys proposed to me today. Or wait, was it 99? Well, good for you. I bet no one's ever asked you out. Such a loser.
Mikasa Ackerman can never be a loser.
I turned around to see Toby standing behind me. He was a year senior to us and was an awkward skinny guy with braces and huge glasses.
I just wanted to tell you that I loved your outfit that day.
Thanks. Are you into anime too?
Yeah, big time.
We ended up discussing our favorite shows and characters and didn't even notice when Bianca marched off angrily. After that day, I started hanging out with Toby, and he told me something shocking. Bianca was his stepsister.
Her mom married my dad a few months back. Things are weird between Bianca and her mom. They hardly ever talk to each other.
I told him about our friendship and how things ended between us.
Now I get why she's mean to you. Do you want me to talk to her?
No, I don't want things to turn ugly between you two because of me. Toby and I started getting closer day by day, and we had tons in common. One evening, he invited me to his house to show me his collection of anime comics. His favorite anime character played the guitar, and he had a similar one in his room, too. When I asked him if he knew how to play, Toby shyly took the guitar and started playing, and he was phenomenal. Wow, Toby! You could easily play in our school band. You're so good! The next day, I insisted Toby meet our school band teacher, and he agreed to give him a chance after hearing him play. After that day, Toby joined the school band. I even gave him a little makeover, and his popularity in school shot through the roof. But he just wanted to hang out with me, and this really pissed off Bianca. My brother doesn't know what a two-faced person you are. Stay away from him. He deserves someone better. Why do you have to be so mean, Bianca? What happened all those years ago wasn't my fault. Really? You have to have some nerve to say that. If you hadn't made me sneak out of my room that day, I'd still be dancing. How was I to know you'd get into an accident? We were just kids, Bianca. Let it go. Easier said than done. She pushed me aside angrily and marched off. Gosh, this girl was something else. A few weeks later, Toby and I were chilling at my house when he saw some of my anime drawings on the table. Oh, it's nothing. Just a hobby right now. I tried hiding my drawings, but when Toby insisted, I showed him the anime series I'd been sketching.
Wow, these need to be published. You have no idea how amazing you are, Rigel. Can I show these to my dad?
Toby told me his dad's friend owned a big publishing house, and he could actually get my series published. I was super excited by the idea, so I put my sketches in a folder and gave them to him. The next day, I reached school early and waited anxiously for Toby when a girl from my class told me he was waiting for me in the auditorium. But when I got there, it was completely empty. I was about to leave when the stage lit up and Bianca walked onto it. And she was holding the folder Toby took with him. Surprise, surprise. So what were you saying that day about letting things go? Well, today, I'm gonna do something, and you're gonna have to let it go. Okay, Rigel?
One night, as I woke up to get some water, I heard the baby crying in Tito's room. I peeked inside, and Tito wasn't there. So I picked up the baby and took her to my room. Gosh, my niece was a miracle from above. I had never seen a baby as beautiful as her. We instantly bonded, and in no time she was asleep in my arms. When I went to put her back, I was shocked to see Tito counting money. But the moment she noticed me, she hid her hands behind her back. "What do you think you are doing? How dare you touch my baby?" She was crying. And that money, where did you get it from? Huh? It's mine. I'm married to a super rich guy, remember? Give me my baby and stay away from my child. I don't want her turning into a Hulk like you. Look at yourself. There's nothing girly about you anymore. Tito, tell me, are you in some kind of trouble? I can help you. Shut up. I don't need your help. I'll never need your help. Get out of my room now. Something was sure fishy with Tito. I knew my sister too well, even when she was being a jerk to me. So the next day when she left the house with her baby, I followed her. She kept walking and finally stopped near the seaside. What was she up to? As I was lost in my thoughts, I saw her husband. The moment Tito saw him, she threw money in his face. But instead of being angry, the jerk smirked. Here's the money you asked for. I can't believe I had to steal from my mom and dad because of you. Just leave me alone now. Don't ask for my daughter's custody. We are done with you. Just as I thought, that cheat was blackmailing Tito. Wow, that's a lot of money. Now that my trust fund is empty, I am glad I got you to bring in some cash. That sister of yours is making quite the money. On second thought, I'll hold on to my baby girl. Having her with me guarantees my supply of money. All of a sudden, he started to run, and that's when Tito let out a scream. Instantly, I lunged and grabbed him by the collar, and Tito came in time to take the baby safely away. I always knew you were trash. This was long overdue. Saying that, I gave the jerk a much-deserved black eye. Once Ecom was taken away by the cops for blackmailing Tito for money, my sister came running to me with my beautiful niece in her arms. Dami, how did you know? I followed you. You looked worried. I had to find out. I'm so sorry, Dami. So sorry for being a jerk, for not listening to you, for not admitting that I made the most foolish mistake ever by trusting Econ. Can you forgive me, Dami, please? Tito, shh. The baby is asleep. Look, I might not be able to forgive you right away, but I promise I'll always have your back and will always, always love my niece. Dami, and I promise I will wait for you to completely forgive me. Strong people like you will always find it in their hearts to forgive others, but they don't forget, so they won't be hurt again.